Hi, you guys, and welcome back to Briefly Trending. Today, we're going to speak on part 2 of Keesha Anderson's documentary. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the things that stood out to me in this documentary, so let's jump right into it. Now, in the opening of this documentary, or part 2 of the documentary, it's similar to the first part of the documentary because you have people saying negative things about Keesha, and she also talks about how you should be careful what you wish for because you may get it. Now, in the documentary, she also speaks on this relationship that she had and how not everyone was accepting of this relationship. Her mother is someone that was not very accepting of this relationship. And to me, that was kind of shocking because her mom just seems, like she would, I guess. But, she wasn't very accepting. And I understand that some people are raised a certain way and they're brought up a certain way. And again, I don't think her mother is a negative person or a bad person. I just think that she was raised a certain way or brought up a certain way. She has certain beliefs, and that's perfectly fine as long as, you're not harming anyone or, violating anyone. I believe that everyone is entitled to their opinion. Now, her father took a different approach. Her father was more of, Keesha, that's between you and God. This is your life. And her brother took a similar approach to the father. And her sister, I guess her sister felt like, I'm not going to judge my sister. I love her. It is what it is. And her best friend took a similar approach. Now, I want to say her friend is so pretty and well-spoken, but they also talked about how whether or not what happened to Keesha when she was younger had anything to do with the relationship that she had gotten in at the time. And I'm not sure if it had anything to do with that. Now, I believe Keesha said it didn't, but she also said that it could have been a way for her to take control of her body again or have control over her body again. So Keesha would have to answer that. Now, if you don't know what happened to Keesha when she was younger, again, watch part 1 of the documentary, or you can watch my review. Either one is fine. And Keesha also spoke on how she had depression, and that I want to say was extremely brave of her to speak on, going through depression. And you saw her father's reaction, because that stood out to me, because you could just see the pain and hurt in his eyes and how he wanted to, make his daughter better. And her brother also spoke on it, and he was saying, how he was also going through depression and, because of financial things. And I want to say that that's very real. A lot of us go through depression because we feel like financially we aren't where we're supposed to be, or things may need to get paid, or whatever it may be. We all go through, most of us, I won't say we all, but a lot of us go through, dealing with financial burdens, and the stress that brings is insane. But, seeing their reaction was just so, I think eye-opening, because a lot of people don't know if you are going through depression because, they feel like you should look a certain way or act a certain way or dress a certain way. And the father was just so unaware because Keesha was bubbly and lively. He did not know his daughter was going through depression because she was that way. But yeah, I think that was extremely brave and inspiring for her to put that part of her life out there, because we all know how people can be and how they can use things against you. But I just want to be someone who says, I support you, Keesha, and anyone who's going through depression, please, or anxiety, please don't be afraid to speak out and seek the help that you may need. Also, something else that stood out to me in this documentary was I Am Posh. Now, if you don't know, Keesha and I Am Posh, I believe that's her YouTube name, had a feud going on, or a falling out that happened. And I remember watching videos of Keesha talking about, something that happened between her and I Am Posh. And to finally see their sides was really cool. Now, I Am Posh sat down and she sort of talked about how she felt like, they had exposed their friendship to the internet too fast, and how she felt like they had not built a solid foundation yet. So maybe they shouldn't have shown their friendship to the internet so fast. And you also hear Keesha's side, and Keesha's side was more of Keesha always, it seemed like she suppressed her feelings, and she was always putting someone else's feelings before her own. And, I guess maybe that also contributed to the falling out. And eventually they ended up meeting together. They asked if they would be fine with, meeting together, and they both said yes. And they sat down and they talked, and it was really refreshing to see two beautiful Black women sit down and speak and not yell or fuss or name call with each other. It was so beautiful to see that. But they talked to each other about, how they felt in that relationship. And I and Posh spilled some tea, and she was like, Keisha's ex-boyfriend said something that was inappropriate to her. And, if you want to know what that is, again, go watch the documentary, so you'll understand. And I was so shocked to hear that he said that to her. Like, Keisha said that she was unaware that he said that she didn't know. And, it was just cool to see them come together and come to some sort of resolution. And, I don't know if they'll ever be like friends again or tight again, but, it was just refreshing again to see two women, beautiful Black women, come together without name calling and fighting. So I was really impressed with that. You know, but I was also surprised that Keisha was more passive. I didn't know that because in her videos she seems a little more stern and assertive. But it was interesting to find out all these things about Keisha. Part 3 is coming out soon, so look out for the review of that. And comment down below and tell me what you guys think of this documentary. I think it's great. Yeah, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Ready.